Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated, where today I'm joined by actor Jeremy Palko. So, welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you for having
Oh no, thanks for doing this. So, we are supposed to be joined by the Dead Cards creator, Mark Roberts, frequent guest and friend of the show, but he hasn't shown up yet. So, we may see him pop in at some time. We'll just give that warning.
We'll just wing it.
So, Jeremy, I like to start here because I've seen you on a lot of different shows. But what made you want to become an actor, and how did you get into the entertainment business?
It was something I kind of always wanted to be as like a kid, but I never actually thought like you could actually do that, pretend for a living per se. But I think it started when I worked for Disney on the college program a little bit. I was in Seattle, but that kind of got me the entertainment bug, I guess. And when I graduated college, I went on the Disney Cruise Line for about 2 years, dancing like a pirate, hosting shows. And, when I left the ships, a buddy of mine suggested I stick around, the Orlando area. And I got to the theme parks, and slowly but surely I started finding myself, on stage or in front of a camera. Got myself an agent, got some headshots, and started doing the audition thing. So
yeah, that's awesome.
The torturous adventure that is auditioning. So
but and it's no easier now. You have to do everything remotely.
Just brought me down memory lane of like when I was first trying to break in, and 10 years ago. But been fortunate enough to book a few things here and there, and that's kind of led me to Atlanta, where I'm at now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what did you get to play any of the classic Disney characters while you were at Disney?
No. I wasn't in the character world. I don't know if I can.
So you were doing some of the stage stuff where you just
I was always myself, like a host of sorts, but I was never friends with the characters, I guess they say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You need to parlay that to get on the Disney Channel, because once you're on there, then you're like a Disney kid for life.
Right. Like I basically grew up a Disney kid, so
yeah.
I
think we all did. So if I remember right, you played some sports back in school.
I tried. I did my very best, but yeah, I grew up kind of a quote unquote jock. Yeah. Young kid into high school and college when I got, knee surgeries. That kind of ended it. So
yeah. Were you a football player?
I definitely did a lot of football through the later years of high school, and I tried to in college, and that's where I kind of had my first real knee injury. And ironically, that led me to my first drama class because twist of fate took me out of sports.
Yeah, it actually worked out to your benefit.
I mean, I still think about it to this day. I mean, I still, I don't do nearly as much as I used to do, but when I do exercise, I think about if I could even, and there's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way.
What was your position?
I was a defender, safety mostly. Dabbled in small, but I just kind of liked hitting people, I guess.
Yeah. That's football's such a tough sport, and it's.
I didn't like getting hit.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Better way to say it. I didn't like getting hit, so might as well.
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, sports in general, but football especially. If you get dinged up or have an injury, it's so tough to come back. I mean, it just because if you're not 100%. Yeah, it's tough. So I'm trying to think what the first thing I saw you on. Because I don't think it was Walking Dead. I'm wanting to say maybe Sleepy Hollow. Does that sound right?
Sleepy Hollow, I did an episode of that. Where
was that
murder.
Before Walking Dead?
Yeah, that was definitely before.
Yeah, I think that was the one I saw you on, which was a pretty fun show.
It was a fun shoot. I know that. I got to do some running and stunts and get thrown down a well and got to do some screaming. So it was fun. It's a fun day as an actor.
You've been on a whole bunch of the, I don't know, those kind of monster type of shows. I mean, you've got Walking Dead, you've done Sleepy Hollow. I think you were on The Passage.
I did The
The
Passage,
vampire show.
an episode that was fun.
Yeah. Oh, and Vampire Diaries. You were on that one as well.
Yeah. Kind of. I'll take them all. All the small roles, eat them all up. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, that stuff. At least if you're going to be on a show for an episode, you might as well be on good shows.
Right. Very, very blessed to have been the places I've been and the shows I've been on. So nothing for granted, that's for sure.
The one that, and I definitely want to talk Walking Dead, but the one that I really enjoyed watching you on was Bloodline on Netflix.
Yeah, well, thank you. So that was my personal favorite show to have been on. I mean, Walking Dead show. Bloodline was just, it's such a great show.
Yeah.
In the few episodes I did, it was really just an awesome experience, working with like Kyle Chandler and, Norbert Leo Butz and, Ben Mendelsohn, like all these.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like when I read the call sheet that day, didn't feel real. It was like Oscar this, Oscar that. So, man, good show.
Yeah. That cast was loaded. Yeah. I mean, everybody in it was recognizable. It was and really an underrated show.
There was a lot of great characters, and a lot of Orlando friends of mine, actors. I mean, just scattered throughout the show. And that's what I loved about the cast locally for all the other, essentially B-roll characters. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
A good series for Florida.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you were on set, did you get to work with some of the Orlando people?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I cross paths? I must have, but offhand, I could think of my friend Carlos, who was there, and Carlos Navarro, he was there, and Adam Vernier, and man, I could go forever.
Did that help? I mean, did that help knowing some people? Did that help with the nerves?
I guess. I mean, related to nerves, I mean, it wasn't really nervous down there, just because it was so gritty. It wasn't like studio,
right?
It wasn't a whole lot of hair and makeup. I mean, it was hot and sweaty on the show, and it was hot and sweaty when we got there. So, I mean, it was nice to get there and just kind of jump right into it. And there wasn't a whole lot of waiting around. Yeah. But yeah, fun show.
Yeah, I love that show. And the reason I watched it was Kyle Chandler, because I loved him on Friday Night Lights. So I saw. I was like, I'll check it out. Oh, it was a great show. So how did you get that one? Did somebody contact you for that role, or did you just go in for the audition?
Essentially, with all of my roles I've ever gotten, I got the call from my agency. I was asked to either be in person, or for that one I read on camera at home. And got the call a few days later that I'd been cast. So hey, we're gonna say hi to Jonesy real quick.
Oh, look at that cute boy.
So this little guy is about 5 months, but he wants to play right now.
Well, of course he does. I could bring my grandson on, I guess. I don't have a dog to bring on. But he's about the same energy level, I think.
I imagine, yeah. So we got you on the phone.
So my wife said to ask you if you were on Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. And I told her to shut up.
I was. Now, I was literally called from a friend like the day of the shoot, and this is like what he explained to me. He said, "Listen, it's a movie about male strippers. I need you for a beach scene." And I was like, already like, I don't know where this is going, but then he said, Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum, and I was like, sure, I'll do. I didn't know what was going down, but I got there and like a ton of my friends were on this shoot, and they essentially put us on boats. They took us out to an island, and we just sat around all day throwing footballs and, eating barbecue, whatever. And at noon, like the island disappeared because the ocean, high tide took over. So we all had to get on the hour. I mean, it was a hell of a day. It was so funny. We had paparazzi and like helicopters coming in, trying to get pictures of, the entire cast minus all of us in the background. But actually somebody showed me like in a US Weekly post, there was Channing Tatum and one of the actors. And then I was like way in the background, but Yeah, essentially, I was an extra for a day, and it was a blast. And I can't believe it's on certain websites that I was in that movie. So
Yeah, that's awesome though.
but man, it was fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'd have been happier if she had said Pitch Perfect, but whatever.
I was in that one too. So
I know.
the third one, to be exact, for a mere moment of my, let's just call it what it is, my ass flashing through the camera. It was kind of fun in spandex.
Well, yeah, you were like a gym instructor or Pilates guy.
Yeah, Pilates guy. A friend of mine, Jennifer, was a stunt coordinator, and I actually had to go through quite a rigorous audition to get that part. One of the auditions I had to do was throw myself off a piece of gym equipment, and the only time I could do it was during the daytime at a crowded gym. So, Jonesy. So I actually did that. I filmed myself throwing myself off of a machine just to, not crazy or anything, but just to film it to show the stunt coordinator that, I could take a fall.
Yeah.
And wound up doing it. It was a lot of fun, and the cast was great. But yeah, somebody sent me the clip. I hadn't actually seen the movie yet, but I laughed. So
yeah, no, it was funny. It was funny. I mean, if you got to have smaller roles, I mean, what a great couple of days of shooting. Those stories are awesome.
Oh, it was one afternoon, my friend. One afternoon. Nice. It was awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Now I know you've done some stuff on MacGyver. I think you were on.
MacGyver I did last year. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the one my son said to mention was The Middle. He remembered you from The Middle.
Oh, The Middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. We shot at Disney. That was fun.
Back to Disney. I watched that show, but what was your role on The Middle?
I played like a ride operator, roller coaster, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I am a Disney kid. I know a lot of trivia.
Yeah.
But that was actually a really unique scene for me. Like I'm used to, like action, go, say your lines, and kind of go with it. But I had to wait for 100 extras to walk through the background. Then we had to wait for the ride to actually hit its mark. Like the big train had to roll into. Then the other actors walked in with food, and then I had to deliver my line. And I will tell you, I screwed up the first take, and I got a little nervous because the train was not in the right position. So we all had to wait for the train, essentially wait for me. But thankfully, I got through the second part of it, and Disney magic.
So, Walking Dead, which is what a role that you had on there. And we were talking before we got on here. I kept waiting for your character to get killed, but I was hoping he wouldn't because I liked the character. And you survived for a long time until I was like, well, maybe he's going to make it. Nope.
It was you who jinxed me. So.
It was me. But you made it through like 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, about 3 seasons, 6, 7, and 8, scattered in there somewhere. But man, that show I mentioned earlier, like when the actors show up, 99% of us probably have no idea what's going to happen from week to week. So, as long as your phone keeps ringing, you're fortunate enough to get into that next episode. Yeah, you always think that, your fate's going to be sealed at the end of every script. So it was nice to, kind of pace myself along and stretch it out for the 3 years. What an experience.
It's kind of cool to say that you were killed on The Walking Dead. That's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Like, I found some validation in my character and the fact that like he'd started at the satellite station and kind of ended at the satellite station.
Yeah.
So I would hope that was, kind of from the writing room to nod to the character, but I found it to be like a nice closing for the character. So it felt really good.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. You didn't try to talk him into letting you come back as a zombie in another episode?
No, I almost called in sick that day so I wouldn't have to be there to get shot because I figured if I just wasn't there, they would just kind of forget about that scene and maybe,
and you could stay.
Yeah, but no, I'd never wanted to be a zombie because just the makeup looked
brutal,
terrifying to me. But yeah, once I had been killed off and my character actually was not shot in the head, it was in hopes that maybe I'd be brought back and put in the makeup, but never got the chance. But who knows? Maybe he'll come back later.
I was going to say, it's not too late. They've done that. They've brought a few older zombies back.
Right? Just a thriller scene, just to get out of the ground and walk around for a minute.
Yeah, it was such a so it helped me remember when the door opens up. Were you the one that shoots the guy before the rest of them shoot back, or were you just?
Oh
beside
no! It was the guy next to me. His name is Brent, and his character actually fires first. And I just know because when my death scene happened, I had a lot of people write me going, "Hey man, that thing in your hand, the gun. Next time, pull the trigger and see what happens." Because there is this like blatant moment of him firing first, and then the longest seconds of looking down the barrel of a gun and me not doing anything. So
that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, they could have written in that you tried to fire back, got a shot off or something.
My dog's doing laps around my house right now. Hold on.
Hey, that's what they do.
Jonesy.
That's all right.
All right. He's on.
I just want attention.
Right? He does get a little jealous when I'm not talking to him for like 4 seconds.
Of course, he's just a little guy. Oh, had you read the comics before you appeared on the show?
I've never actually read the comics, but I was told about my character, and so I did look him up. But he was merely mentioned in the comics, having faced Negan, in a other storyline. Hey, Jonesy. And not making it. So I kind of figured my time was going to be really short on the show based on that knowledge. So
yeah, you actually made it longer than I thought you would, based on the fact that your character was technically in the comics.
Right. I'll take it. Technically, he was in the comics.
He was in the comics.
But yeah, the scene where my character and I believe Ethan was his name, and Kimberly's character. Anyways, but yeah, it was straight out of the comic books. That first hilltop confrontation with Gregory's. I'm kind of glad they strayed away from that storyline by not incorporating Andy. So,
yeah, you were in some really tense scenes though. Those confrontation scenes were pretty rough.
And my first day, I remember going just toe to toe with Andrew Lincoln, and it was pretty surreal. But
yeah, he's a great actor. He's a great actor.
Yeah, great human being as well. And can't say it enough how nice just Andrew Lincoln is. I'm pretty sure anyone would validate that on set. But for being as big as he was on that show, a lot of actors probably could have, thought of themselves a little higher. But man, the most humble guy on the planet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did it throw you when you heard him after the take speaking in an English accent?
It was kind of weird, but I invested in the show before I'd gone up to shoot, so I definitely knew all about the main characters and stuff, because I was kind of late to the show. I didn't really watch. Yeah. I'd seen the first season, I think, but when I got cast, I actually went back and watched most of them. So it was weird watching the show for like about a week and a half and then getting thrown into it. But yeah, seeing the actors talk, their natural dialect was kind of throwing. Time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Did you have any, I don't want to say that. Was there a character on the show or an actor on the show that you kind of bonded with during your time there?
I mean, it all felt like kind of like a family reunion every time we shot. You'd see friends and stuff. So there's definitely people I knew before, during, and I remain, friends with after the show. But like my good friend Anne Mahoney, who plays Olivia in the show, the one who slapped Negan. We became really good friends after the show, and like we talk all the time. And I'm actually writing a script in which I've written a part for her, and she's written a movie, and I think we might be collaborating. So definitely value that friendship. She's a freaking awesome actress, first of all. Good. Peter Zimmerman plays Eduardo from Hilltop.
Yeah.
Karen Ceesay, she played Birdie from Hilltop. So Hilltop crew is pretty strong, though.
That's right. That's pretty good. Hilltop crew. Do you want to give us a hint of what your script's about?
I mean, it's kind of a summertime movie. It's about a guy going home to a hometown that basically 10 years ago he was on the rise and on his way to stardom and fame, but things have kind of hit a rough patch. He's going back home, and he's he has to figure out if he's willing to screw over his family to help his career. And it all takes place in a town that just hasn't it basically takes place in the 90s, but it's going to be in today's setting. Like towns that are just small towns still have CD players in their cars, and definitely a nod to where I grew up. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's my whole state. I mean, I'm in West Virginia. That's basically the
it's
state.
just the people that haven't, there's a select few out there that haven't gone out of high school, I feel. Coming up on my 20-year high school reunion. But yeah, it's kind of a nod to that. Got my buddy Peter Dante on board from Grandma's Boy and Mahoney. Like I said, Aaron Schwartz, talking to him right now from the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
So we got some traction.
That's a fun cast.
We got some traction going right now, but obviously things are kind of all halted. So
yeah, it's been a crazy year. Hopefully hopefully this coming year is going to be much better. I mean, I know you guys had a show in October, I think, but it was basically that was the only show that happened, right?
Oh, Comic-Con wise?
Yeah.
And it went really well, went smooth, but I mean, I get the feeling out there that things are going to be pretty virtual for a while. Yeah,
it's a shame. Part of what we do with this show is my son and I, we go around to the conventions and kind of, we do the press type of stuff and interview people on set and that stuff. We had it all lined out for the year. Didn't get to do any of it. So we done a lot of Zoom interviews.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. So, I mentioned him at the beginning, but our good friend Mark Roberts of the Dead Cards is who set up the interview, and he always brings the best people on the show. But I'd asked you before we got on there if he had done one of the cards for you, and you said that he actually brought you a print at that show.
He did. He brought me a larger print. So
yeah,
I don't know, it's always been a dream of mine to get a card. So
I know, I'm so jealous. I keep telling him, I was like, hey, podcasters like cards too.
Good stocking stuffers, man.
That's right. That's right. I love his cards because it's something different. And especially if you're a fan of an actor or a show, you can take that and get it autographed. And it's a little more personal, I think, a little different than just the standard photo.
Yeah.
That you would normally get.
And it makes you actually feel like baseball players. It's fun.
That's right. Yeah, I keep telling him that he needs to put some vital statistics on the
back. Good idea.
I don't know what they would be, but maybe they could count the zombies you killed or something on Walking Dead and put them on there.
People have asked that, and I don't know. I don't know how many.
You just say some. There's so many.
I think it's 0 on camera to be accurate, but I think the backstory, there's thousands.
That's right. Yeah. At least. He's obviously shot that gun at some point.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So have you, you've done, I think you said you did theater early. Or not theater, but you did some work with Disney. Have you thought about doing theater?
I was actually late to the theater. I remember, like, I didn't do it in high school or anything like that. I remember thinking I wanted to, but again, I was very, very sports oriented. I thought I was going to go on and play whatever, baseball or football or something like that. But it wasn't until I got hurt in football, and then I took my first drama class. But that's kind of where I found theater, was in college. And that led to live performing with Disney, Universal Studios, down in Florida, where I lived for a few years.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So is there, you've been on a lot of different shows, but is there a genre or a role that you would like to try?
Oh man, what show I'm really into right now with my girlfriend? We're watching Peaky Blinders, and
love that show.
So late to the game, but like I was a big Sons of Anarchy fan.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot for me to get into a new show, but we've had talks about, this show, which is great. Peaky Blinders takes place in the 1920s and the 1930s in Birmingham, England. But I always thought, like, that would be really cool, a period piece in which you were just consumed in, and Walking Dead was not too far from that, in that you are, from the moment you arrive on set, the lack of cell service, for instance, and just you're secluded in just the backwoods of Georgia, but you feel
Right.
like you're apocalypse. But that being said, I think a period piece would be definitely on the bucket list of things I'd want to do, you know, where you got to get
Love it.
cuts and dressed up, you know, head to toe in something completely out of your, you know, your comfortability.
I could totally see you on a Peaky Blinders or like a Boardwalk Empire, something, you know, show kind of like that. I think you would fit in.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'd watch that. Let's make that happen.
Right.
Well, you know, you'd have been good on Sons of Anarchy. We actually had Ron Perlman and his significant other, Allison Dunbar, both been on the show talking about Sons of Anarchy. So we could probably make that happen. Of course, it's a little late.
When I first started doing Comic-Cons a few years back, my first real big one was the Rhode Island Comic-Con, which is a big one. And I placed in the Sons of Anarchy room. So I was next to Emilio Rivera, Ryan Hurst, Dre De Matteo, Ron Perlman. Like, they were all in the room.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just remember it was the best weekend because I'm such a Suns fan.
Yeah. That was such a great show. Yeah. You'd have fit. You could have done. Do you ride a motorcycle?
I do. I used to ride a lot more. Sold my bike, and kind of glad I did because it was getting a little dangerous in Florida on a motorcycle.
Yeah. You got to be careful on those things. They look good on TV though.
Yeah, I think on TV it'd be great because I imagine the protocol pretty up there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Jeremy, this has been terrific, and we really just wanted to meet your dog. That was the whole point.
Really? Yeah, he was just saying, he's like, hey, you haven't paid enough attention to me in the last 4 minutes. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you got to run him a little bit when we get off here.
Oh, he went to the park yesterday, so today was an indoor day and getting
stuff. He's needing some attention.
Right.
Well, so Jeremy, before you go, is there anything you have upcoming that we can keep an eye out for?
I just wrapped with Tyler Perry on a new show called
Awesome.
Going to be on BET Plus, I believe. What else I worked on Saints and Sinners. So COVID pending, I think that's going to be okay. Check out, I've started painting during quarantine. It's called Art by Palko. I'm on Twitter, obviously. My Instagram was hacked, actually, so I had to start my Instagram all over, which kind of a pain.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of pain in the butt, this little one. So yeah, been doing a lot of painting during quarantine. Original pieces up for sale, so check it out, Art by Palko. And yeah, that's
yeah, definitely will. My wife paints, so I'll make sure we check that out. That's awesome. It's a good year to kind of develop a new skill.
I tell you, it was just something that just kind of arose in boredom, and it's really truly become a pretty quick passion.
That's awesome. Do you have a medium that you paint in?
I mean, just random size canvas, acrylic. But it's literally whatever I'm thinking about that day, and whatever comes out. Been very fortunate, people asking about commission pieces and things like that, and I'm still kind of learning as I go. But it's a start, and check it out if you get bored.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's terrific. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much. Enjoy the holidays and playing with your buddy there.
What? What are you doing?
He just wants a little screen time. That's all.
I'm gonna teach him to be a cat dog. Apparently, hey, stop.
Yeah, you gotta give him a shoe or something there.
Right. You have a good holiday.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, hold on. I'll hit pause here. That was fun. So, actor Jeremy Palko. So that was a lot of fun. Really talented guy. I really enjoyed him in everything that I've seen him in. So expect big things. I think you'll see him in a lot more, and I think he's just a really talented guy. And he's talking at the end there. I didn't realize he was a painter. I would have asked to see some of his work because that's pretty awesome too. So thank you for joining us, for listening in. Really appreciate that you continue to do that. Hate that we missed our buddy Mark Roberts joining, but hopefully we can have him back real soon. I know everybody loves to have Mark on the program. We get a lot of comments about how much everybody loves the dead cards, and it's always great to see Mark. So we'll have him back on real soon. But in the meantime, go to thedeadcards.com, check out his work. You will not be disappointed, especially if you're a Walking Dead fan. Awesome stuff. And I think he's doing some horror genres now. So he's got some great stuff. So check that out. Please find us on Facebook under MeisterCon. Look us up on our website, meistercon.com. You can see all of our episodes on there, audio and video. And please, if you want to help out the show, patreon.com/MeisterCon. You get some free content and some early access for your trouble. So until next time, thank you for watching. We'll see you real soon. Bye.